One of the most common traps people fall into is giving their energy away. Think about it. How much time do we waste scrolling, comparing, gossiping, or worrying about what others think? Every second you spend analyzing someone else's life is a second stolen from your own. And the truth is, your life does not change by watching, talking, or criticizing. It only changes by acting. That's why learning to direct your energy inward instead of outward is one of the most powerful shifts you can ever make. When your energy flows outward, you're in a reactive state. You're living based on the actions, opinions, and successes of others. If someone posts their highlight reel on social media, before you feel behind, if suddenly you feel behind, if someone criticizes your work, you start doubting yourself. If someone wins, you feel like you're losing. That constant outward focus drains your strength because you're giving control of your emotions and direction to the world around you. And if you're always reacting, you're never creating. But when your energy flows inward, everything changes. Instead of comparing yourself to others, you start competing with who you were yesterday. Instead of worrying about what they're saying, you begin asking, what can I do today to get closer to my goals? The spotlight shifts from the outside world to your inner world, and that's where real growth begins. Directing energy inward means taking responsibility. It means saying, I can't control the market. I can't control what people say. I can't control what others do. But I can control me, my discipline, my mindset, my habits, my work ethic. When you live like that, you stop being pulled by the chaos outside and you start being driven by the power inside. Think about the most successful people you know or admire before. They're not sitting around gossiping about who did what. They're not scrolling for hours to see how others are living. They're locked in. They're investing their energy in mastering themselves, building their craft, and becoming undeniable in what they do. That's why they win. Not because they're lucky, not because they had an easy path, but because they chose to spend energy on progress instead of noise. Here's the secret. Energy is limited. You don't wake up with unlimited focus, unlimited motivation, or unlimited willpower. You wake up with a tank, and every thought, every action, every conversation either fills it or drains it. If you give that energy away to envy, distraction, or comparison, you're empty before you even start working on your goals. But if you protect it, if you aim it inward, your tank fuels progress. Directing energy inward is also about silence. When you're quiet, you're able to hear your own thoughts more clearly. You start asking better questions. What do I want? Who do I want to become? What's the next step? And instead of trying to prove something to the world, you begin proving something to yourself. That's where real power is born. So here's the challenge for the next season of your life. Stop bleeding energy outward. Stop wasting hours on people who don't pay your bills, don't build your dreams, and don't add to your growth. Reclaim that energy and put it back where it belongs. Inside, build your body, train your mind, sharpen your skills, work on your craft. Do it for you not for them. Because the day you master yourself, the outside world no longer controls you. You become steady, you become strong, and eventually you become someone others look at and wonder, how did they do it? The answer will always be the same. Before you stopped giving your energy away and started giving it to yourself. Got it? Here's a 600-word expanded section on SR. Silence is strategy that you can use as a standalone speech, article, or scripty. 200 silence is strategy. We live in a world where everyone feels the need to announce everything. From the smallest achievement to the biggest plan, people rush to post, share, and broadcast it to the world. But here's the hidden truth. Silence is one of the most underrated strategies for growth and success. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not a lack of ideas. Silence is control. It's the choice to guard your energy, protect your vision, and build without unnecessary noise. When you stay silent you're not just avoiding distractions, you're positioning yourself for power. Think about it. The most dangerous opponent is not the one who talks the loudest. It's the one you can't read, the one who moves without warning, the one whose silence hides a plan. That's the kind of silence you need to practice in your life. Too many people lose before they even start because they reveal too much too soon, before they talk about their goals, before they've built the habits. They announce their plans before they've taken the first step. And then when they fall short Before, they not only faced their own disappointment, they faced the judgment of everyone who was watching. Silence eliminates that weight. 4. Silence gives you the space to fail privately, to adjust quietly, and to rise without resistance. Strategic silence also protects you from negativity. The more you speak, the more room you give others to doubt, to criticize, to project their fears onto you. But when you hold your tongue and keep your work hidden, 4, you starve negativity of fuel. People can't attack what they don't know. They can't sabotage what they can't see. Now, silence doesn't mean isolation. It doesn't mean shutting yourself off from the world. It means being intentional with what you share, when you share it, and with whom. Share your ideas with mentors who can guide you. Share your struggles with people who truly care. But resist the urge to announce everything publicly. 4, because most of the world doesn't actually want to see you win. They just want something to talk about. Think of silence as a weapon. The samurai carried their sword, but they didn't swing it wildly. They held it with patience, with discipline, only drawing it when the time was right. 4, your silence is the same. It builds tension, it builds anticipation, and when you finally speak, when you finally reveal your results, the impact is far greater than if you had been shouting the entire time. History proves this over and over again. 4, great innovators didn't talk endlessly about what they were going to build. They worked in secret. Before, leaders didn't reveal their strategies to everyone. They moved in silence until the results were undeniable. The power of silence is timeless. So, 4, if you want to win in life, learn to embrace silence as a strategy. Protect your goals, guard your energy, work while others are distracted by noise. Because the truth is, people rarely forget results, but they easily forget promises. Silence doesn't mean you're invisible. It means you're unpredictable. And in a world that rewards attention but forgets discipline, unpredictability is power. Stay silent, stay focused, and when the time comes to speak, let your results be louder than any words you could have said before. Got it. Here's a 600-word expanded speech on the keynote. Results speak louder than words. 4. Tu five fia sels results speak louder than words. We live in a world where everyone wants to talk. People talk about what they're going to do, 4, what they plan to achieve, what their future looks like. They post about their goals. They announce their next big move, 4, and they constantly seek validation before they even take the first step. But here's the reality: talk is cheap. Words don't build businesses. 4, words don't transform your body. Words don't put food on the table. Actions do. You see, results are the universal language that everyone understands. 4, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what culture or background, results cut through noise and excuses. When you have results, 4, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't even have to say much at all, because your results speak on your behalf. 4, louder than any speech you could ever give. Think about the people you respect the most. Are they the ones who constantly talk about what they're going to do? 4, or are they the ones who simply do it and let the outcome prove their point? The truth is, people are not inspired by your promises. 4, they're inspired by your proof, and proof only comes through results. But here's the catch: results don't happen overnight. They require silence, patience, 4, and relentless effort. That's why most people avoid the path of real work. They'd rather look successful than be successful. They want the applause without the sweat. They want the title without the grind. But when you choose to stay silent, 4, to stop telling the world about every move you're making and instead put that energy into execution, you start to separate yourself from the crowd. Before, let me tell you something important. Every time you talk about your goals instead of working on them, you steal a little bit of your own momentum. 4, you trick your brain into feeling like you've already achieved something when in reality you've done nothing but make noise. Silence protects your energy. 4, silence saves your focus, and silence channels your drive into action rather than distraction. Results are also powerful because they are undeniable. Before, you can argue with opinions, but you can't argue with results. If someone doubts your ability, you don't have to fight back with words. Just show them your work. 4, if someone underestimates you, don't waste time defending yourself. Just keep building. Because eventually, 4, your results will force people to change the way they see you. The gym doesn't care about your excuses. It reflects your effort. The marketplace doesn't care about your promises. It rewards your value. Life doesn't care about what you say. It responds to what you a do. That's why you must commit to being a person of action, not just intention. And here's the beautiful part: when your results begin to show, you don't have to go looking for recognition. It comes to you. Opportunities come to you. Respect comes to you. People who once ignored you now pay attention, not because you shouted louder, but because your results made the noise for you. So stop telling the world what you're going to do. Stop giving speeches about your goals before you've even started. Keep your head down, do the work, and let the results speak. Because in the end, results are the loudest voice in the room. Your results will tell your story. Your results will silence your critics. Your results will prove your worth more than any words ever could. Remember this: promises may inspire for a moment, but results inspire for a lifetime. Got it? Here's a 600-word expanded version of the keynotes or discipline over applause, written in a motivational speech style. Discipline over applause. We live in a world where applause is everywhere. Social media has made it so easy to measure ourselves by likes, views, and comments. The moment we do something good, we crave recognition. We want people to see it, to praise it, to validate us. And while applause feels good, it is a trap, because applause is temporary. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent. Discipline is what you do when nobody is clapping. It's what you choose when no one is watching, no one is cheering, and no one even cares. Applause is external, discipline is internal. And if you build a life based on applause, you'll be chasing validation forever. But if you build a life based on discipline, the applause will eventually chase you. Think about it. The athlete who trains at 5 a.m. while everyone else is still asleep isn't doing it for applause. The entrepreneur who grinds quietly fixing problems no one sees isn't doing it for likes. The student who studies when no one's paying attention isn't waiting for recognition. They're building themselves in silence. They're practicing discipline. And that's why their success becomes undeniable. The truth is, applause is addictive. It gives you a quick high, but it fades fast. And the moment you get used to it, you start performing for it. You start living your life as if it's a stage, trying to please an audience instead of pursuing your real mission. That's why so many people burn out. They're chasing validation instead of progress. Discipline, though, is steady. It doesn't care about mood swings. It doesn't depend on recognition. Discipline says, I'll show up regardless. Discipline says, I'll do the work even if no one sees it. Discipline is not glamorous, it's not loud, and it's not easy, but it is the foundation of greatness. Here's the key difference. Applause is about perception. Discipline is about reality. Applause makes you look successful. Discipline actually makes you successful. Applause can come and go based on trends, popularity, or opinions. Discipline is immune to trends. It compounds, it stacks. It multiplies quietly in the background until one day it shows up as undeniable results. When you choose discipline over applause, you choose long-term growth over short-term praise. You choose mastery over vanity. You choose to play the long game instead of chasing the crowd. And ironically, the people who don't seek applause are the ones who eventually receive it in abundance, because results can't be ignored forever. So ask yourself, are you doing it for the applause, or are you doing it for the growth? Are you chasing claps, or are you building character? Because one day the claps will stop. The audience will move on. The world will get distracted by something else. And when that happens, what will be left? If you've built your life on applause, you'll have nothing. But if you've built your life on discipline, you'll still have momentum. You'll still have results. You'll still have strength. Greatness has always been built in silence. The champions, the leaders, the innovators, they all learned early on that applause doesn't build you. Discipline does. So stop chasing applause. Start building discipline. Don't just seek to impress, seek to improve. Because when you put discipline first, applause will eventually come, but by then you won't even need it. Got it? Here's an expanded 600-word keynote on block out distractions from your speech. Focus on yourself and stay silent. Block out distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. They come in the form of constant notifications on your phone, endless scrolling on social media, opinions from people who don't walk in your shoes, and even your own doubts echoing in your head. before. And if you're not intentional, those distractions will rob you of your focus, your time, and ultimately your future. The truth is greatness requires focus. You cannot build something meaningful if your energy is scattered. Think about it when you're trying to achieve something big, whether it's building a business, for mastering a skill, or transforming yourself. Every ounce of your attention matters. Before, every moment you waste on distractions is a moment you could have used to move forward. Blocking out distractions doesn't mean you live in isolation. Four, it means you live with intention. It means you take control of your environment instead of letting your environment control you. It means saying no to unnecessary drama, no to toxic conversations, no to endless entertainment that doesn't serve your purpose. Before, one of the biggest distractions is people's opinions. The world will always have something to say about your journey. Some will criticize you, some will doubt you, and some will even laugh at you. If you let their voices into your head, you'll start questioning yourself. That's why silence is powerful. When you stay silent, before, you protect your vision from unnecessary noise. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't have to explain every step you take. Your results will speak for themselves. Another major distraction is comparison. It's easy to look at others, friends, influencers, or even strangers online and feel like you're behind. But comparison is a trap. Everyone has their own timeline, their own struggles, and their own journey. The moment you compare yourself to someone else, you stop focusing on your own growth. Before, the only person you should be competing with is the version of yourself from yesterday. Practical ways to block out distractions start with controlling your environment. If your phone is stealing your time, put it away while you work. If social media keeps pulling you in, set limits or take breaks from it. If certain people drain your energy, create boundaries. Protecting your focus is not selfish, it's necessary. Another key step is training your mind. Your brain loves instant gratification. That's why it's so easy to fall into the trap of quick pleasures, scrolling, binge watching, or chasing likes. But success is built on delayed gratification. It's built on doing the hard things now so you can enjoy the rewards later. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, before, you strengthen your ability to stay focused. Remember, the world is designed to keep you distracted. Companies compete for your attention. Before, algorithms are built to keep you hooked, and negativity spreads faster than positivity. If you want to rise above average, you need to take back control of your attention. So block out distractions, not just sometimes, but as a lifestyle. Decide what deserves your focus and protect it fiercely, because your time and energy are your most valuable assets. Use them wisely, and you'll be unstoppable. Before, at the end of the day, it's simple. The more you block out distractions, the more progress you make. The more progress you make, the more confidence you build. And when your focus is unshakable, your results will be undeniable. Block out the noise, block out the doubts, block out everything that doesn't serve your vision, because your success demands your full attention. Got it. Here's a 600-word expanded speech article on the keynote, King Classify Work in Silence. Before, shine in public. We live in a world where everyone is trying to be seen, liked, and validated. For social media has turned people into broadcasters of their lives. Every small move, every half-baked idea, every plan is shared as if it already means something. But here's the truth, the people who achieve real success are often the quietest while they are building. The phrase work in silence, shine in public isn't just a motivational line, it's a strategy for life. When you work in silence, you take away the need for applause before the job is done. You stop looking for validation from others and instead find strength in your own discipline. Talking about your goals may feel good in the moment. It gives you a little hit of pride, a sense that you've already accomplished something. But in reality, that talk can trick your brain into thinking you've already won. And when that happens, your hunger fades. Think of it like planting seeds. If you dig them up every day to show the world what you've planted, nothing will grow. But if you cover them, water them, and quietly let time do its work, one day those seeds will break the soil and everyone will see what you've been working on all along. That is the power of working in silence. Silence also protects you. When you announce your plans too early, you open the door for doubt, criticism, and negativity from people who don't share your vision. Some will laugh at you, others will question you, and slowly, that outside noise starts to weaken your belief. But when you keep quiet before, no one can touch your progress. No one can interfere with your process. You're free to make mistakes, free to learn, and free to grow without judgment. Now, before, let's talk about the second half of the phrase, shine in public. This doesn't mean bragging or boasting when you succeed. Before, it means letting your results speak for themselves. When you've put in the hours, the discipline, the sacrifice for, and the effort that no one saw, you won't need to shout about it. Your success will be impossible to ignore. People will ask, how did you do it? And your answer will be simple. For, I was working while everyone else was talking. See, shining in public is the natural outcome of private discipline. Before, athletes who train for years in silence eventually step onto the world stage and prove their greatness. Entrepreneurs who quietly build and refine their business eventually launch something the world can't deny. For students who study in isolation eventually graduate at the top of their class. It's not magic, it's discipline multiplied by time, protected by silence. Before, so here's the challenge for you are stop announcing and start executing. Stop wasting energy on proving to the world that you're working. Instead, take that energy and put it into the actual work. Wake up earlier, study harder, practice longer, build with focus. Protect your dreams by keeping them private until they are strong enough to stand on their own. Because the day will come when you no longer need to say a word. Your results will speak the loudest sentence you'll ever deliver. Work in silence, shine in public. Before, and let the world witness what discipline looks like when it matures into greatness.